Hello, all you scaredy cats and kittens, and welcome to the Two Scaredy Cats podcast, where we talk about all things strange, unusual, and paranormal. We're your hostess with the mostest. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Kara.
So, Kara, what's been going on recently? I know right now there's like a huge windstorm happening outside in both where we both live because we're worried the electric's going to go out.
Yeah, there's like a tornado going on.
It's crazy out there with all that wind.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the wind.
I know.
This weather's just crazy. It goes from like 10 degrees to like 70 degrees and then back down to 10 degrees.
I know. I'm so worried about all my plants that are trying to bloom. They're all going to die.
Yeah, they're going to die.
I'm not happy about this.
Because it gets so warm. When I was walking, like I'm going to go for walks, I'm like, oh, I see all the plants are starting to bloom. And then I walk again the next day when it's 10 degrees and they're all dying.
It's really hard on them. Hopefully they'll make it. I don't know. I'm worried.
Yeah, did you see it's supposed to like jump back down again?
10 degrees.
It's supposed to go back up and then down.
Although, did you see the weather in Las Vegas? They're talking like 98 degrees on Thursday.
What? Oh my god. So we're going to melt. Okay, so God.
Yep. So you might want to dig out some shorts to bring with you because it's going to be warm.
Well, I already had my outfit packed out, so my costume.
Okay.
I actually am wearing a costume now because I know we had talked about it, but I decided I am.
Okay. Yeah, I still have to figure out what I'm going to do.
Well, I found a costume and I've been sorting through the basement, and I was like, wait, I can turn this into something.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
So I repurposed something. I didn't have to like do anything.
That's good when you upcycle all the stuff that you have.
Yeah, and then I have to do like one small thing to readjust it because, like, it's a maid outfit. I forgot that. So I'm turning like a character into a maid costume.
Oh, there you go. Nice. That'll be cute.
Yeah, it's like perfect color because it's like an orange maid outfit too. So it's like a really obscure. It's like a not normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, very not normal. Yeah, for a maid.
Well,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do Buggy Maid because his outfit's orange, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. So I hope you're excited for that.
Sure, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'll have to send you a photo of it. It actually looks really cute. I just threw it together.
No, cool.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas, so we'll have stories, I'm sure, for the next podcast. When you're listening to this, it should be out on my birthday, because, right? My birthday's on Friday.
Yeah, it'll be out on the 20th, so make sure you wish Kara a happy birthday. But yeah.
Yes.
And today's Friday the 13th, so when this comes out, it'll be next Friday on the 20th, so there's that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you not know that?
Yeah, we're recording this on the...
Yeah, did you know today's Friday the 13th?
Oh, well, yeah, isn't it weird that we've had two Friday the 13th back to back?
That's really weird. Crazy. Usually doesn't happen like that. Not back to back. Alright, so I guess we're going to go ahead and get started today. So I'll let Kara go first. So what do you have for us this week, Kara?
Well, first of all, I wanted to talk about how there's a new movie out that's like very on brand for this podcast because it's literally a horror movie about people who have a paranormal podcast and then get haunted because of it.
Oh, okay.
So
I have not seen this.
That's a new fear unlocked for us.
What's in the movie? I have to check it out.
Oh, it's called Undertone.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I have to check that out.
But I was thinking we could try, maybe we can watch it when you come up before we fly out to Vegas, because if you come up Wednesday.
Yeah, that's when I was planning on coming up. That'll be cool.
So I thought.
Yeah.
We have an early freaking flight the next day.
I know. We're going to be so messed up on time.
I know, because I think we land at like 8 a.m.
We're going to be
in Vegas or something insane.
So what do you have?
Oh, yeah, okay. So we want
we're
to talk about that because I was like, that's interesting. And what else was going on? And then we're going to talk about, I don't know if anyone else has seen about the Florida man. This is also a conspiracy, and it's probably fake, but it's really funny, and it's going around all TikTok that we have to talk about it. It's so on brand for the podcast.
Okay, what is it now?
But there's a Florida man claims that he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city.
Wait a minute, what?
That was like a headline that's been circling right now. Oh my
god, that is insane. Seriously? They kidnapped him.
Just wait. It gets more crazy.
Oh my.
So, of course this was in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, of course, Florida.
Florida man, I'm just reading this article. Like I said, it's probably fake, but it's still really funny, and I still think we should talk about it. Florida man found sunburned and disoriented on Sanibel Causeway, claiming he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city.
Oh my god.
He was soaking wet, and when they found him, he was drawing blueprints in the sand.
Oh, okay. Weird.
But he claimed that while he was swimming off the beach, he was escorted by some dolphins to a site approximately 40 feet below the surface, where they needed help building structures underwater. So he spent 3 days underwater
with no air. There's no way.
No, Mom. Listen,
my gosh.
we get there. We get there. Okay. They were apparently giving him air bubbles.
Oh, stop!
This
it.
is what the story said.
Are you sure he wasn't watching SpongeBob?
I'm just saying they would give him air bubbles so he could keep.
Oh my! It sounds like a SpongeBob episode.
They were communicating to him, all right, through a series of clicks that he eventually was able to interpret.
Oh, stop it.
And the project foreman was Gerald the Dolphin. That's what I was telling you about. Gerald the Dolphin. So,
wow.
when asked how he breathed underwater for 3 days, they said Gerald handled that. I didn't ask questions, and you don't question Gerald.
Oh my god. Oh my lord. Wow.
And then when allegedly the deputies found him, he had drawn an elaborate blueprint in the sand that he had explained to them was what the dolphins were trying to build.
Oh, okay.
And then the dolphins were actually really satisfied with his work.
Oh my god.
And I told you, this story is... There's, a bunch of memes going around on TikTok about this. How everyone's like, wait, I'm gonna go off to be with Gerald in their underwater city.
Yeah, really.
It's probably better than what's going on.
Amen. It probably is better than what's going on around here.
You know.
That's too funny. Seriously. Oh my lord. Are you sure this person wasn't high as a kite?
Also, apparently Gerald's coming back for him at some point, is what he told the officers.
Oh my god.
And they looked into him. This, like I said, is all legend. Apparently had an engineering degree.
Okay, well that explains the blueprints then.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And they apparently had gotten zoning, too.
The dolphins had gotten zoning.
Yes!
Oh
allegedly.
God. To build on the ocean floor. Yeah. No.
That's why I said this story is so wacky.
It is.
And it's all over TikTok, like I said.
Oh my.
It popped up maybe 2 days ago, and it's everything I see.
Oh Lord.
So if you see any dolphin memes,
that's
it was probably because of Gerald.
All right, I'm gonna have to check this out now. I was just on TikTok and I did not see anything about this.
So everyone's making memes about running off to the water, and now there's videos of a bunch of boats outside, and they're like, oh my god, they're looking for Gerald the dolphin for questioning.
Right? Jeez.
And it is on Florida though, which is the Bermuda Triangle, so I'm not gonna question it.
That's too funny.
I'm just saying
somebody watched too much SpongeBob, because there was an episode with the dolphins communicating to SpongeBob. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
I think somebody watched too much SpongeBob.
I know. So that's why I was like, this is insane. And every person I bring it up to thinks I'm crazy. But if you Google it, it's all over. Oh. Obviously, they're like, we disproved this Florida man story. I'm like, I don't care. I think it's still funny as heck that this is circulating. Yep. Whoever made it, I want to believe that Gerald is out there. I want to go work for Gerald under the ocean.
Let's go play with Gerald and build his city.
Build his underworld city. Is it related to Atlantis?
I don't know. Maybe, remember,
in Florida, when I went to that one place, they were talking about that's where Atlantis could be.
That's what you said, yeah. I don't know. Maybe. We'll never know.
This is an insane story.
It is insane.
We also... So there's some crazy Bigfoot sightings in Ohio, if anyone else has been on that side of TikTok, because I'm also on the Bigfoot. Not only am I on Gerald the Dolphin TikTok, I'm also on Ohio Bigfoot sighting.
There you go.
TikTok. And there, from basically March 6th to March 10th, there have been 8 sightings of Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's busy. Is he trying to find his woman?
Yep. He's been on the move, and there's actually maps you can find of the exact sightings, and they're all in the same area too. Huh.
That's interesting.
Oh, apparently there's also one that there's just multiple, which is kind of interesting.
Oh my gosh, I have to laugh. I had lunch with Grandma and Grandpa a while ago, and Grandma was telling me all about the grass man and asking me all kinds of questions about him. It was kind of funny. She's like, do you know about the grass man? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like Bigfoot, isn't he? And she's like, yeah, I was watching a show all about him the other day. And I'm like, okay. But I thought it was funny that she was all into the grass man all of a sudden. I don't know what Grandma watches sometimes. She's up way too late. She watches all the weird stuff.
Yeah, it's so funny because I actually got a notification on my phone. Because you know, like Google, like, I don't know if you get them, but I get like Google notifications about news articles it thinks I'll like.
I think I do, but yeah, sometimes I do. It depends.
But I sometimes I get them, and the one I got was like multiple sightings in Ohio of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So it was big enough news that I got an article about it on my phone.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was gonna say I have come across several stories about Bigfoot recently. So something's up. He's on the move. I don't know what he's up to. Maybe he's gonna build a city in the woods.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Gerald's going to be the foreman for him.
Gerald.
Yeah, maybe Gerald's going to be the foreman for him.
I just can't believe they called him like the foreman of the project, and he got zoning for the underwater city.
That is funny.
Maybe I'll see him when I'm in Florida.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, for my cruise.
Yeah, maybe you will. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know. He might wave. He might put his fin up and wave to you when you go by on the cruise ship. So did he have any other things on him, the guy, when they find him from Florida that had been hanging out with Gerald?
No, he was just like sunburnt and he was like delirious on the beach. Huh. But he did like have a scuba suit on.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's how he was able to...
Interesting.
Yeah, what are you covering?
Today I am covering, it's called Morgan's Corner. And it's like this haunted location in one of the islands of Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Hawaii. Florida.
I know, right? Wow. We all must be thinking of warmer weather. So Haunted Morgan's Corner is located on the island of Oahu, in the city of Honolulu. And this Morgan's Corner is a place that most natives tend to avoid due to murders and urban legends that are associated with this particular section of the island. But for tourists who want to see a spirit or two, this spot is legendary for that, apparently. Now, there are several reasons why Morgan's Corner may be haunted. One of the reasons is that Morgan's Corner happens to be named after a gentleman by the name of Dr. James Morgan. And apparently this gentleman, I guess to get to some of his patients and that, he bought this land on the island, and it was a very big swath of land, but it like butts up to like this very twisty road. And when his patients needed him, he would actually cut through the dense greenery that was on his property and near the edge of this road, like skirted the edge of his property. Just cut through this greenery that blocked most of the road for most drivers. And he would do this by navigating these tight turns. So eventually he helped make this road safer for the people that lived out that way, apparently. Now, Morgan's Corner was also the site of a gruesome murder, which happened on March 11th, 1948. The woman's name was Teresa Wilder, and she was viciously murdered by two gentlemen by the name of James Majors and John Pela Kiko. Now, there's also many military operations that have happened on this particular island in Hawaii, and these operations date all the way back to Hawaii's earliest days, and all the way to World War II, where lots of things have happened in that area. So Morgan's Corner and the surrounding area are ripe with otherworldly stories. Its urban legends are similar to the ones that you've probably have heard before, with, a sprinkling of some different things happening in them. So one of the most famous urban legend that comes out of there was a story about a couple that I guess they were on a date and they were driving on a dark abandoned road, and their car died unexpectedly. Now, they're stranded on this dark road. There's no cars in sight coming near them when all of a sudden they hear this noise. So the boyfriend, being, a not very macho guy, gets out of the car and decides he's going to take a look around while he leaves the girlfriend inside of the car. So while he's looking around, the girlfriend all of a sudden hears this scraping sound on the roof of her car. Now, the boyfriend never returns back, okay? And she ends up, falling asleep in the car, they said. And the next day, she wakes up with cops pounding on her window. And, she's kind of disoriented, and she gets up, and they tell her that, we found your boyfriend, because he was going to get help also when he got out of the car. After he had heard that noise, he decided he was going to go get help. Well, it turns out, like I said, she'd heard the scraping sound on the roof of the car, and that's when she, decided to lock the doors and stay inside until the boyfriend got back from trying to get help. And after the cops had knocked on her door, they told her not to turn around and look. And she, being nosy, she turned around and looked, and it was her boyfriend was hanging from the tree upside down, and it was the tips of his fingertips that were scraping on the top of the car. Now, they never figured out who had killed the boyfriend, or what actually happened to him. And that's all, people have heard about the story. And now it's like this big urban legend, and, people say you go to this area where this happened, and you turn off your car, and supposedly you can hear, you can see like a ghost car come, and it'll stop, and it'll flash its lights and all this crazy stuff. Now, an invisible cloud hangs over Morgan's corner, fueled by having misery that still haunts the region. Complaints about the dangerous road date back to the 1930s via newspaper reports of accidents, fatalities, and even murder. So, since like the 1930s, the stretch of road is like cursed, and all these like things happen there. There's always accidents on it, and all this stuff. Now, if you were to look at the picture of the road, it's like a hairpin turn basically where this road is. And so it's, you can understand why so many accidents happen here. So on March 11th, 1948, 68-year-old widower by the name of Teresa Wilder had no idea that James Majors and John Kiko had escaped from their work crew the day prior. These guys were on this work crew, and they ended up escaping. One of them was 21 years old, and the other one was 19 years old. Decided they were gonna they escaped. They hid out in the hills that night, and then started coming down the road looking for food the next day. At one place, a dog chased them away. At another place, they got coconut, and then the fugitives went to an estate that was nearby, which was like her neighbor. Now, she apparently had been making food, and, these guys were hungry, and they smelled her food, so they came onto her property. And they approached the Wilder escape from the direction of the natural swimming hole below the estate during the daylight time, and at first thought it was empty. So first they were trying all the windows along the bedroom, and they were not able to open any of them because they were locked. So the two men crept around to the roadside of the house, and that's where they saw Mrs. Wilder beginning to make her evening meal. Now, they returned to the window along the roadside of the house and succeeded in opening one of the small dressing rooms windows on the side. The room in which they entered was locked, so they had to climb through a 14 by 18 inch air vent to the next room. This is insane. So then the one guy, Majors, ended up unlocking the door and allowed Kiko to enter the bedroom, and they set about searching for food. So Mrs. Wilder heard the noise, and she left the kitchen, and she opened the bedroom door and switched on the lights, saying, "Who are you and what do you want?" At this point, Paliko grabs both of her arms and allegedly said to her, "Lady, we don't want to hurt you. All we want is some food." So Mrs. Wilder at this point struggles free and ended up rushing to the front door, calling out to her neighbors in an attempt to frighten the intruders. She managed to open the door to the outside, but one of them ended up grabbing her. So there was a shuffle with all three of these people, And 68-year-old Wilder was easily overpowered. Majors ended up pulling her to the ground and struck her in the eye. Stunned, Mrs. Wilder was then bound and blindfolded with towels. So the escaped prisoners then carried the unconscious woman to her bedroom. Mrs. Wilder began to regain consciousness and struggled some more with them, and then was struck by both men after being thrown on the bed. The one guy punched her twice on the chin, and then Major slugged her on the jaw. At that point, she lost consciousness and then was gagged with the same towel that had been used to blindfold her with. So from the kitchen, the men went into, and they took some food, and then they left the same way that they had entered, which would have been through the air vent. So they were only in the house for 45 minutes, but they ended up finding the winding road the corner sits on. They hid out, but later that night, they returned to Honolulu, and then they were captured. At this point, apparently, the body of Teresa Wilder, known as Teddy to all her close friends, was found. And they said that she had been there for 5 days before anybody noticed her missing. The home had been locked up. The newspapers were on the floor from the last week. Nobody bothered to check in on her or whatever. And they said what clued them in, how they figured out she had died was they had broken her jaw. From being gagged, she couldn't breathe. So she ended up dying, even though their intent was not to kill her. So these two end up die by hanging. But a complication happened during their trial, and it ended up leaving them with a 90-year conviction of, life in prison for 90 years for both of them. Oh. Morgan's Corner is full of ghosts, strange occurrences, and ghostly killers patrolling the street with hooked hands. So some of the hauntings that people have claimed to have witnessed or that are supposedly happening in this area is there is a hanging figure of a tall and dark figure. People can see it from the trees, like hanging from the trees when people take photos. And they believe that this is a picture of the supposed boyfriend, remember, of the girl that ended up getting killed and he was hanging upside down from the car. That's what they think that this particular ghost sighting is from. People also report seeing shadow figures. There are numerous... There's numerous reports of tall, shadowy figures rising from the ground or a grave that is nearby. There's a grave near the sharp bend in the road, and that's where they'll see these shadow figures come from. There's also the phantom vehicle that I told you about. People have reported hearing a car approaching or driving by even when there is no other cars on the road. And then finally, people have claimed to have physical sensations whenever they are out in that area of Morgan's Corner. They claim that they will get goosebumps. They feel like there's somebody that's watching them, and they'll hear their name being whispered, apparently, when they are in that particular area of the island. So that is all the crazy stuff that happens in this Morgan's Corner on the island of Oahu in Hawaii.
Wow. That was a lot.
I know, that is a lot. A lot of stuff going on there, yes. I don't even know. Yeah, a lot. From, the hanging figure to the phantom vehicles. I mean, good Lord. And then shadow figures. They say the shadow figures are the two gentlemen that killed the Wilder lady. They claim that I guess they're remorseful for what they did. So now they're, after they died in prison, they come back to the road there and they, now they haunt it as shadow figures. Interestingly enough, after this particular trial that happened about Teresa Wilder's death, they no longer had the death by hanging was canceled after that. That they no longer do that anymore. So that's interesting that because of her, her murder, they decided to take that off the table. as a way for somebody to die. They no longer have any type of thing like that. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be lethally injected or anything in the state of Hawaii. So you just get incarcerated for the rest of your life, I guess, if you do something bad in Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not like you get off scot-free. It's just you know. You're no longer going to be, you know, hung or, you know, however they decide, or injected, you know, lethal injection or whatever. But I do believe, like, a lot of their prisoners in that, though, work on some of the, like, sugar cane plantations they have there and the pineapple plantations that they have on Hawaii.
Huh.
I'm excited. I want to meet Gerald the dolphin. I want him to be mine.
Let's go meet
I know,
Gerald.
right? That's it. We're just going to have to plan a road trip to Florida to go find Gerald. Go be on his work crew. I have not heard this story now. I'm going to have to go look this up. This is crazy. It's so funny and ridiculous, but you know what's sad? It could actually be true. I mean, look. Oh, did you see they're making a cocaine bear too, speaking of weird and crazy animal stories?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they're talking about making cocaine bear too. I thought, oh my God, that is awesome. Oh, I know what it was, because me and Sam were watching Cocaine Bear the one other night because he had never seen it before. And I was like,
God.
It's like, you have
Why
to
are they
watch
making a second? That's crazy.
I know. I feel like they pretty much tied it all up in the end, I guess, but the bear was still missing, so I guess that's why. I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to show you this insane video that I was shown at KatsuCon. It was called Ouija Shark.
Oh, okay.
Ouija board shark. It's like a home video someone made, but it's really funny.
Oh, good Lord.
And it's free, so it's great. We'll have to watch it when you're
I'll have to watch that. That sounds
we head out.
Hysterical. Yeah.
If we have some time.
But anyway, that's all I got for this week.
Yep. All right. Well, if you enjoyed the podcast today, please be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Two Scaredy Cats Podcast. And don't forget to leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show get discovered. And tune in 2 weeks for our next episode. And to you, all our scaredy cats and kittens out there, remember, curiosity didn't kill these two scaredy cats.